Hello everyone, welcome to Mayur Programming Club. Today we will be solving another daily LeetCode problem, and the problem's name is minimum add to make parenthesis valid. Okay, so you will be given a string, okay, which will be representing the pairing of some parenthesis. Okay, and it will be a valid parenthesis string if and only if the following condition satisfies. If either the string is empty, then it's a valid parenthesis string. Okay, and it can be a concatenation of two valid parenthesis strings. Okay, so a and b can be concatenated together where a and b are them in themselves valid parenthesis strings. Okay, or it can be a situation or a combination like that. uh, you know, we are having a starting and ending parenthesis, and whatever lies in between that is also a valid parenthesis string. Okay, so if it is of any of these forms, then it's a valid parenthesis string, else it is not. Okay, so then you will be uh, you are asked now that once you are given this parenthesis string, you can do some insertions. Okay, you can either insert a opening brace or a closing brace. Okay, to make the string a valid parenthesis string if it is not already. Okay, so for example, example is given to you that this particular parenthesis can be this particular parenthesis string can be made a valid parenthesis string by inserting some opening braces. Okay, so what you have to do is, our task is to make the string a valid parenthesis string if it is not already, and we would be telling how many insertions or additions uh, we required to make that a valid parenthesis string. There might be zero insertions, or you can say additions of opening or closing brackets, because the string might be already a valid parenthesis string, and there might be some of them. Okay, so in all, what the problem statement is trying to say is, you will be telling how many number of additions you require to do from your side in order to make the string a valid parenthesis string. Okay, so you can insert either a opening brace or a closing brace. Okay, so for example here, as you can see, it's missing only a opening brace. Okay, so if we take this to the board, so the situation was like this. So you just needed a single brace, opening brace, and this will become a situation like this where a is in itself a valid parenthesis string. Okay, so it becomes a valid one after just one addition, so you will be returning one. Okay, and for this particular one, the situation is like this. So you need three of closing braces in order to make this valid parenthesis. Okay, so that's why you would be returning 3. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We have to basically tell the minimum number of additions that we need to make. Okay, so before thinking of an approach, let's have a quick look at the constraints. So according to the constraints, the length of this particular string will be of order 1000, and each character in this particular string that will be given to you will be either a opening brace or a closing brace. Okay, so now we have seen the constraints, and let's try to think of an approach. Okay, so see, we need to tell how many opening braces do we need and how many closing braces do we need, or parentheses do we need to make the string the balance a valid parenthesis string. Okay, so opening, or you can say open count, how many open parentheses do you need to make it a valid parenthesis string, plus how many closing parenthesis string do we need to make this a uh, valid parenthesis string. Okay, so instead of count you can say required. Okay, that would be more suitable to use. So open required and close required. So basically you have to return the summation of these two, and you have to find out how many of these you will be requiring. Basically opening parenthesis, and this is these are closing parenthesis. How many of these you would be requiring? So you would be returning some of them. Okay, whatever the requirement is. So the whole problem boils down to finding the minimum amount of opening and the closing parenthesis that can make the string valid parenthesis. Okay, so see, what we will be doing here is we can very easily solve this problem with the use of couple of variables. So what we would be doing here is we will be using two variables basically. One will be your close required, okay, and one will be your open count. Okay, so basically what you would be doing here is you will be traversing your string from left to right direction. Okay, so let's pick the very first example. Okay, so this was your input. So you will be visiting the characters of this particular string one by one from left to right direction, and when you are seeing opening brace, then you will increment your opening count or open count, which will be initially 0. Okay, so this time it will be increased by 1, so it will be plus 1, so it will result into 1. Okay, next time when you see a closing brace, okay, so what you would be doing here is you would be checking, are we having some opening braces that we need to close? Okay, indeed we are having some, because the open count is greater than 0. Okay, so why not use this closing brace and close one of those braces? Okay, so the open count will be decremented by 1, and it will become from 1 to 0. Okay, so now moving further, then down the line again you see one particular closing brace, but this time when you see it, you will be asking, are we having some open braces with us, that or parentheses with us that we might need to close? The answer would be no, because we the open count is 0 right now. Okay, so this particular closing brace would be requiring a opening brace to make the string a valid parenthesis. Okay, so uh, this particular open required will be one another variable that we would be using. Okay, and uh, that would be set increased by ones. Okay, so plus 1 from it will be starting to with 0, so it will become from 0 to 1. Okay, so now once you are done traversing the whole string, you will be basically, this closing braces, how many closing braces you would be needing, that would be equal to the number of opening braces you are still having. Okay, so close required will be nothing but whatever is the remaining opening braces you are having after you are done traversing the string. Okay, so and you were already populating values in this open braces required variable. Now it's 1. Okay, and it is obviously 0, so open required is 1. So you would be returning a sum of these two, 0 plus 1, and it will be 1. So this is the whole logic. Basically, whenever you see a opening brace, you increment the open count. Okay, and whenever you see a closing brace, you try to see whether you are having some opening braces that need to be closed. If yes, then you will close one of them and the open count will be decreased from whatever its previous value from to one less than that. Okay. And if there are no opening braces that need to be closed, then you will be saying that for this particular closing brace we would be needing a opening brace. Okay. And you will increase the requirement of opening brace by 1. Okay. And this thing will continue and you will just return the sum of these two: open braces required or parenthesis required plus the closing parenthesis required. Okay, whatever amount of opening braces are left, that will be your closing braces required. Okay, so without further delay, let's see the implementation, how we have implemented this approach. If some things are not clear in this particular explanation, then it will be more clear while you will be seeing the implementation. Okay, so let's take a fresh slide for that. So this is the implementation. So what we would be doing here is, as we talked about, that we would be starting with open required. Okay, that would be the case when you are having a closing brace with you and there is no opening brace that needed to be closed. Okay, in that case it will be incremented, and open count is just the number of opening braces that you are having right now that are you can say not closed as of now. Okay, so unclosed braces, you can say open braces. So whenever you are having a open brace, you will increment your open count, and if it is a not a opening brace, then obviously it will be a closing brace. And if it is one, then you will firstly see are there any opening braces that needed to be closed. If yes, then you will decrement their count by 1, saying that we have closed one of them. Okay, and if there are no opening braces that need to be closed and you are seeing a closing brace, then you will be needing a opening brace. Okay, in order to make the string a valid parenthesis string. Okay, and when you will be done traversing the whole string character by character, then the amount of closing braces that would be required is what will be equal to uh, the left out opening braces that are still not closed. Okay, and then you would be simply returning their sum: opening braces required and the closing braces required. Okay, so and if we talk about the time complexity and space complexity, time complexity wise, if n is the length of the string, then it will be of order n, since we are doing a linear traversal here. Okay, and space complexity wise, since we are not using any extra space here, so it will be order of 1, or you can say constant. Okay, so these are the complexities and this is the approach. If you are still having any kind of doubts or any queries in general, then you can ask them in the comment section. I really hope this solution walkthrough added some value to your journey of honing your DSA skills. Keep solving more and more problems, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching.